Why? You gotta do this to us. On today of all days.
Today.
Hello.
On the day of my daughter's wedding.
The day of my daughter's wedding.
Me on a day of my daughter's wedding.
Hi, chat. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, everything in between and none of the above, to episode 26 of Shadows over Velda.
Whoa.
Absolutely crazy that we have made it 26 non-consecutive games.
But 26 games nonetheless.
26 games nonetheless,
Yeah.
and that's what matters. And I'm glad you guys are all here in the audience. I'm glad you guys are all here. Players, thank you guys so much for making time and coming to hang out with us, because today's a very, very tense game that we're going to be playing today. And we, and by we I mean Hayden and I, are currently in scenic Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I think they're actually like literally 10 feet above me in some direction.
Yeah, I'm
so
literally
funny.
one floor above you, dude.
Amazing.
Stomp your foot real quick. See if he hears
It's like that. It's like that one scene from JoJo's Part 8.
Yeah. But we are here at Anime Milwaukee. Ben is in South Carolina for, what is the name of your con?
Bonsai Con.
Bonsai Con. So if you're in any of those parts of the world, come say hi to us. We have both Scylla and I have the collab print that we did for Shadows over Velda ready, and you can get us both to sign it. So it's a good opportunity.
That's pretty poggers.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a really nice print. But that aside, I'll get to recap in just a second. But in order to be, let's be a little bit more traditional. Last time we didn't have an icebreaker question because we had to get right into it. It was going to take a lot of time to get done what we needed to get done, and we had to. Our minds were elsewhere. But I think right now we need an icebreaker question, and I think you guys are going to be proud of me because of the subject matter of this icebreaker question. We're going to go down the list here. If you guys haven't joined us before, usually before we start our sessions, 9 times out of 10 we give all of our players a question for their characters that reveals a little bit about the character and the personality behind the character, and maybe even the personality behind the player, without revealing too much, without giving away like a plot point or something like that, or anything crazy backstory wise. But this question we may have done before, but the best part about this is your answers will have changed, because if we did do it, it was probably within the first 5 sessions. We will start with, we'll go in reverse order, because I feel like we should end with Ben this time for reasons. Okay. But the question I have, and we'll start with Leju.
Hi.
How would Phoenix want to be remembered?
Oh boy.
Wow.
Let's see. I think Phoenix. I think Zach would like to be remembered as a fine, dandy lad who did things for fun and shot the shit in multiple different ways.
Just one of the guys, so to speak.
Yeah,
Phoenix
you know.
remembers him that way, but what about Phoenix? Because we all know Zach's not.
Yeah,
that's true.
What do you mean?
I
answered the question.
You expect me to believe that you and your brother's name are the same?
I really wish my VTuber was more expressive.
We got Zachariah and Zachary.
Zachariah, go tend to the fields.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll take that as an answer.
Thank you.
That was good. Yes. All right. We'll take that as an
Thank
answer.
you. Thank you, DM.
We'll climb up a rung on the ladder, and we'll go to Juzo. How would Sunder want to be remembered? By his friends, by his family, by people that knew him in passing, by Farmer Loman?
Well, first, here's the thing.
Damn it.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Again.
But no, I think Sunder, with how his whole story is. He would want to be remembered as a protector,
Yeah.
kind of like fighting until his last breath to protect the ones that he cares about. But I feel like he's a little bit of his arrogance. He wants to be remembered as the guy who shattered a god's jaw.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I mean, don't we all? How
Yes.
badass. But I feel like if anybody can do that with their own bare hands, it's definitely Sunder. So that's good. We got a little bit of a round retrospective on Sunder. And if I do recall correctly, you are at 1 HP?
Yeah. When we were dealing with the dragon, yeah, I was at 1 HP for
Yeah,
a
he just
bit.
kind of stepped on you, but noted. Very good answer. These are all very, very inspiring, honestly. Okay, let's climb up a rung on the ladder again, and we got Hayden. How would Argentum want to be remembered? By Ham Lady? By
Let's go.
We're never letting him
Dakota?
go.
By everybody in Ibranca? How would Argentum want to have themselves remembered?
This is tough because they don't feel like this part of themselves right now, but they want to be remembered as kind.
Okay, that's really nice. Yeah, and I the events of last session definitely showed compassion for sure. Showed that they were willing to do some pretty crazy stuff in order to get their, do we use the F word, friends, out of this situation.
Yeah.
Right? See, it's been hard for everybody.
At least one person is their friend in their consideration.
Yeah. That was good. Nice.
Sorry.
Popping tabs. No,
That
you're
was
good.
crisp.
That was very crisp. Very good. Very good answer. Let's climb up again.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
my buddy is falling to his death.
Be all right. So Grizz, how would Ray want to be remembered by Bryant, by the wall?
All right. Hear me out.
I'll stop twisting the knives.
Hear me out. Those are some knives that you're twisting.
Mm-hmm.
But when the question got proposed, I guess, to Phoenix, the first thing I asked myself was, does Ephrael want to be remembered? And I don't think he cares. It's a weird thing to say, but I think that at the moment, in the present time, he's so goal-oriented that all he wants to do before he dies is accomplish this grand scheme, I guess, this change. And his reward in death will not be being remembered, but just having succeeded.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I guess in that case you would be remembered as having did it, having completed your task.
I think it's more important that it happens and not that
that there's a memory
people
there.
remembered that I was the one that did it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I like that. Just kind of fading into history, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Great answer though.
Earn that piece of the afterlife if it is peaceful. I might be in the webs forever tormented. Who knows?
Who knows? But it's a very good piece of yourself. So thank you very much for giving that up, Ray. Okay, Ben. Last but certainly not least, how would the Titanic frame, the warm, friendly voice of the wall want to be remembered by his friends, by family back at the river, by Ray? How do you want people to remember the wall?
The wall would want people to remember him with a smile on their faces. He would want them sing songs about his adventures, about his exploits, to tell stories in grand pantomimes and plays. He will want people to laugh about all the stuff that he's done and all the goofy shit that he said. And then be like, hey, isn't it kind of fucked up how he shoved a needle under that dude's fingernail that one time? That was fucking wild.
That actually happened.
But more than anything, he would just want to be remembered in a fun way, to remind people of the joys that come with living life to the fullest, to having something to strive towards, but also just, to take time to stop and smell the roses.
That's incredible. What a great way to remember the wall. That's how I think everybody, and that's one thing about the wall that I really like, is that he never really had two faces. He was always what you saw right in front of you. There wasn't anything, there were no pretenses, there were no lies, there were no there's nothing fake about him. He's true as true.
He's literally unable to be fake.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a real one.
He's a
real one. Yeah, he's a real one. All right. So, that said, we're going to go back to where we were when we left off our last session, session 25. The current lay of the land is everybody inside of the latter half of the cathedral, Sunder, Argentum, Ray. It feels still after the titanic lizard has slunk back across the Blackstone cliffs, the bluffs that stretch out for miles across the North Sea, and fallen with a wimpy roar into the crushing 30-40 foot waves below. Just before there was the hulking mass of this creature was blocking out a lot of the wind and the rain and the snow. Its wings were spread around the thing. It's kind of engulfing the cathedral, but no longer. The broken windows that were there, bearing visages of Ipswich's old friends and acquaintances, since blown out, scattered across the ground. Candles have been extinguished, braziers gone, in the biting cold, the freezing winds that suck into the interior husk of this building. Phoenix, you're standing right now over the edge of this cliff, looking down, and having just seen the hole that was made in this really thick lower hanging cloud layer that's right you see these waves cutting through this mist every time one crashes down. This foam raises above this thick milky layer of dense clouds, and you feel yourself begin to almost like, you've stood on some place that's incredibly high before. You feel this pull to get you to fall over the edge after
Call of the void.
Yeah, the call of the void. After you've cast Featherfall on the wall and the banner. But as you run up, you feel yourself begin to lighten. You run up towards the edge of the cliff, looking over, hoping to see them falling slowly, but there is nothing. No splash. No thrashing, no gnashing of teeth. No.
Wait, what? Well, I look over the edge and they're not there?
They're not there. In the 5 to 6 seconds it took you to run from the stairs to the edge of this large hole in the back of the cathedral, you don't see them. Nor do you see Acervax. Just the churning of the tide beneath you, and a small glimmer of something long in metal that has cast itself upon one of the crags that jut out from the side of the blackstone cliffs. Precarious. It's about 100 feet down, but there is something there. But the wall himself, the banner, and Acervax are all gone. You still have Featherfall on you.
Yeah. I still should have it for like a minute, I think.
Yep.
Where the fuck did they go? Huh? I'll look around. Do I see it like other than like the glint? Do I see anything else? Do I see like literally anything other than like the foamy
Make an
water
investigation check.
First roll of the day, or I guess technically
You got
second.
this, baby.
Investigation.
Yes.
Fuck. Should not be able to. Oh, it's normal. Nice. Okay, cool.
16.
16.
You scan around with frantic eyes. Pupils dilate, and you get a good sense of what's around you. The cliffs themselves are sheer, except for maybe 1 or 2 5 to 6 foot outcroppings that are just kind of wave breaks, naturally formed over time. Every 2 or 3 seconds, this 50, 60 foot geyser of water shoots up from where the waves kind of fill a vacuum somewhere below the Blackstone Cliffs, maybe a cave or some sort of like labyrinth or what have you, a dungeon, something really far down. It just shoots this jet of water up every few seconds. And with the 16, you can tell that, and your heart drops for a second. You feel this wave of anxiety and nerves, because as long as you've known the wall, as much as you have known him, he would never go anywhere without his glaive.
And it's there.
And it's there.
I turn back to everybody else in the cathedral, or the place. He's not there.
Just happened?
What do you mean he's not there?
They should be falling slowly, and I will be too. I was going to jump after them, but
they're not there.
he's not there. His weapon's there. I look back over the side, and I see just the glaive is still there, right? This hasn't moved.
Oh
or,
yeah.
Like,
Every jet of water and foam that comes out, it rubs against the glaive, falls down. You can hear a little bit of the rattling of the water against the metal. It's pretty far down though, so it's faint, but it's still there.
Falling? What do you mean falling? What happened? Where is he?
Banner took him off the side.
he got grabbed.
How? Time had stopped. We had the advantage.
He
Was-
allowed the banner to embrace him.
Why? Don't lie to me.
I'm.
You're trying to tell me he threw his life away?
He embraced the banner in a hug, and the banner threw them both off the cliff.
I can
seemed
still go
as-
look.
Do it. Go look. I'm going to try to communicate with Penelope.
Okay. I will face the rest of the team and take a deep breath, and then I will just lean backwards off the side and fall
Sure.
down.
Yeah, you
Dramatic.
see. Go ahead.
No, I
That's
was just
it.
calling him dramatic.
Oh, yeah, it is very dramatic and very extra, but he kind of T-poses off the edge and falls
Yeah.
very slowly back first into the mists. While you're doing that, what would you like to say to Penelope, Argentum?
I'm just double checking Mind Link because I think it specifies that they don't have to speak the same, but I'm going to see if it specifies
Okay.
to any creature, provided the creature is within a number of feet of you. Don't need to share a language with the creature for it to understand telepathic utterances. Okay, bet. They must be able to speak at least one language. Does horse count?
I mean, you're not
Horse
exactly sure
language. Horse language.
what exactly is inhabiting Penelope yet. But
True. I don't know much about this weird ass horse.
you can try.
And
Yeah.
Penelope isn't in the room, right? Like,
I thought they
Oh.
were.
Penelope is in the room. Yes.
okay.
Argentum, the
Right,
horse is here.
Oh, thank goodness.
Makes sense. Yeah, he didn't pick both Wall and
in
Penelope.
this short period of time, Penelope does trot across the cathedral floor towards Ray and Argentum, towards the edge of the cliff, and kind of gets there right as Phoenix falls back into the abyss, and stares over the edge.
Argentum will walk up next to them and attempt a mind link with them.
The mind link, it's almost as though you attempt to mind link with an insect or something that just doesn't speak any sort of language, and is incapable of like speech, and you press in a little bit more because there's just something in your stomach that wells up within you that needs to find answers. And usually with your companion there, it's usually a little bit easier to do, but you had to summon a lot of energy, a lot of focus, in order to pierce through this membrane, and you feel it give like a well-sharpened knife on a piece of paper. You enter into a very magical mind. You enter into a mind older than any you have entered before. There is a vast amount of information, a wealth of knowledge. What do you say?
Penelope, I know you are connected to the wall. Can you feel him? Can you tell if he is near, if he is down there? Can you tell?
And you see Penelope's horse eyes, these black marbles set, kind of, projecting out their skull a little bit, wide-eyed, looking down. And they look at you, almost human in their expression, almost sentient in their expression. And Penelope doesn't say anything. You hear nothing, but you're overcome with a wave of grief as Penelope sheds a tear and lays her head on the tiles in front of her as a few of them give way into the abyss, following Phoenix down.
I'll take that as a no. And they'll say that out loud. And they'll kind of crouch down next to Penelope and just like stroke her neck and just try to be a little comforting. Penelope, from what I understand, cannot sense the wall at all. So I think it is safe to say, I think the banner, or maybe even Veyround, took them somewhere. Or who knows, maybe Elistray is involved somehow. Though it is strange he left his glaive if Elistray is involved. So I think there are other forces here. But we will wait for Phoenix.
Phoenix, you go down.
Yeah.
Slowly. You're able to get. It's still fairly quick, all things considered, but you do go down slow enough that you won't get hurt or injured when you hit your ultimate destination. Do you land on any of the outcroppings, or do you just want to go all the way down?
I wanted to make a stop at the glaive first.
Okay. You land on this outcropping. It's quite slippery. So as soon as you, what's your passive dex?
My passive dex?
I know that's a weird question, but what's your passive dex?
Like, what is that? 8 plus proficiency plus dex mod?
Yeah, well, 8 plus your proficiency.
Oh, okay. Without the mod at all.
No, with the mod. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah, so 8 plus proficiency plus dex would be. Sorry, I need to open the page. 14.
14. Okay, make a dex check.
Straight dex.
Yes.
Cool. 16.
16. That's fine. DC was 15. You land. You realize for a second this is like almost like volcanic glass that you land on that's covered in seawater, so it's very slippery. You hear your boots start to squeak a little bit, but you right yourself. You find a handhold on one of the outcroppings of rock as a wave splits itself on this crag that you have alighted yourself on. That the glaive has found a very picturesque perch on, as it is sloughed with water and it starts to run down the hilt. And sure enough, it's there in all its glory. A little bit bigger than you would be able to wield. But you've seen it dozens of times. You've seen it split boulets. You've seen it cut insects in half. You've seen it destroy cultists and zombies alike, and it is no longer in the hand that commanded it, but there it sits.
But I can still like walk up and pick it up, right? I'm gonna try.
It's less than 3 feet away from you. You're just kind of like hanging on this like almost like it's about the size of what I would imagine like a gargoyle would be, as you're like, hanging off the side of this this cliff. Yeah, you can, sure enough, you can grab it, touch it if you would like.
Okay, I'll do so. I'll try to pick it up and take it with me, I guess. I'll look over the edge.
You grab it and look over the edge, and you kind of shield yourself from the initial blast of sea foam. This ice cold water. You're drenched now from head to toe, soaked through by this salted water that's almost like sub-zero temperatures. It's amazing that it's still even solid. And you grab the glaive, and it's still warm.
Where the fuck did you go? This isn't a win. Where the fuck did you go? I'm gonna look one more time, maybe like scan the area to see.
Okay, make another investigation check. Okay. What is that? Sorry, I can't see it. 10?
10.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
2 seconds?
2 seconds. Hold on, I have to look something up.
He's cooking.
All right. So you look out over the edge, and in between crushing waves and even occasionally like spouts of like animals and bird calls and things like that, you feel, even in the face of all of this grim fortune that you have experienced, You look out and down and out into the sea, and some emotion washes down your entire body. And for just a second, you feel incredibly hopeful.
Okay. Phoenix's hands shake a little, and then they steady. And his voice calms. He slicks back his hair and he says, or he does, you know that scene from Baki where he, like, his dad cuts the tofu?
Yeah.
You can
Oh my
see it.
God.
He
Dude.
takes a swig from a flask. He says, "We can handle this, kid." And he'll just jump off the edge again.
Okay. All right, let's go back to everyone at the top. Okay. You just saw Phoenix go off the edge. It's been about 15 seconds, and he hasn't returned or said anything. And Sunder, are you okay? How are you doing?
I think Sunder is kind of watching Phoenix go down just to kind of make sure that he's going to come back okay. Because after all this shit that's been happening, he's kind of just worried that he's going to lose another friend by some stupid mean. So he's just kind of keeping an eye.
Okay. Yeah, you, Penelope, Argentum, I'll just kind of peer over the edge. Ray, what are you doing?
I walk to a nearby wall as my bone wings like crack back into their smaller bone forms so that they can
Yeah.
recede. And I'm just like holding my blindfold and I slump down onto the wall. And the black pools where my eyes are, I just kind of stare at the ground and telepathically, I'm gonna talk to the panther, jaguar, mix fey creature, Soot,
Sure.
its name is. And I'll say, we can communicate within a mile, so check everywhere and find a way for us to get back to land.
You hear a very low
And tell me
growl.
if you find anything else.
The growl turns into a purr as they rub themselves against you, and you get a little bit of a flicker of stardust comes off their tail as it ends its rub, looks at you, and then turns around out towards the back of the cathedral, towards where the doors were, and into the main area of Castle Eladar in order to go and see if they can't find what you're looking for.
Okay, I just sort of sit there and stare at nothing. There's nothing I can do.
Soot knocks Corbin out of the way, who had just made his way into the cathedral itself.
Oh, good.
And Corbin is flanked by two other ex-members of Ipswich's School for Swindlers, both cloaked in tattered robes at this point. It's hard to discern even a color anymore with the amount of chaos that they have been through. It looks like one of them might have gone through a building collapse, and the other one is bruised and bloodied. Their eye is cut in a couple of places and bandaged up. Corbin seems to be a little worse for wear, but he has managed to maintain himself, at least all of his extremities, as he walks in. What the hell is going on in here? What's happened? Where's Phoenix?
Phoenix is below. He
What do you mean below?
he cast a spell on himself to go check for the wall and the banner. They fell after the dragon
Dragon.
emerged. Your former teacher, or current teacher, I do not. Sorry, I say former as though he's dead.
He's not dead, he is asleep
That's
in his
good.
chambers.
Your teacher had a powerful ancient dragon imprisoned below your very school.
They'll point to the podium.
Do you know if any of your other students here spoke Draconic?
One of them, Corbin shakes his head. But the one to his right steps forward. The one who has the huge gash on her eye, bandaged up. She's got brown hair. It's been caked in soot and blood, scabbed over. It's unkempt, but back in a very loose ponytail. She appears to be human. Short, about 4'11", quite short. Robes dragging behind her as she steps forward and says, "I can."
So, imagine you had gone over behind the podium, as I am aware you were not supposed to, and you had seen a specific name. Might you have said it aloud?
I would never transgress on Ipswich's podium.
Well, if you or another student had, you would have found a name there. The name of the dragon, whose name I will not speak again. You would have seen their name, and should you have said it aloud, it would have shifted the school. And if you said it again, it would have unleashed that beast. In your teacher's arrogance, he simply wrote it in Draconic, behind the podium, etched into the very thing, and just told you all, hoping none of you would read it. Told you all to not speak it, go behind there. But if you had, disaster would have struck. But in his arrogance, I assume he thought none of you would go against his orders. But that is what happened.
Corbin pipes up and says, "No one would.
It's not his arrogance, it's his worldliness.
Oh, please. From one arrogant bastard to another, we recognize similar traits. Not that I would be as stupid as to write such a dangerous beast's name in such an open area. Now, it was my foolishness for speaking it aloud the first time, but the second time, your Phoenix or Zack or whatever his real name is, he said to try speaking it again, but I will take responsibility for speaking it in the first place."
What was his name?
Well, in order to have us help him, he told us it was Zack, but since coming here, I do not know if I believe him. He speaks in half-truths at most.
Zack.
That means something to you?
Corbin looks down. He looks at Lillian, the woman next to him.
No. It doesn't.
And Lillian rushes up to the podium.
What is his name?
She adjusts her vision in a very strange way. Her eyes kind of glaze over, become milky white, as she reads the name on the back of the podium.
Do not.
Um,
Do not speak it.
yes. She looks chastised thoroughly.
Argentum will create a mind link with her. Not asking permission about this, just
Okay.
they'll say in her mind, just
It is Ace of Axe, but I do not dare speak it aloud.
Ah, yes, of course. Wait. Her eyes narrow as she runs back to Corbin and whispers something in his ear. Phoenix,
We're back.
we're so
you
back.
you descend into the thick mist. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving
God.
throw.
Okay. So with that, you only take 6 points of cold damage as you descend into what is essentially a low-hanging cloud produced by the small weather system these massive cliffs have kind of generated. And it goes for a while, maybe about 100 feet. As
Okay.
you descend, it takes.
I meant to ask. Sorry, before I didn't want to
Yeah.
interrupt, but could I have used like Form of Dread here? It's a bonus action.
To
Just like as I'm descending.
yeah, sure, yeah,
Okay, cool.
of course. You are enveloped in a swath of flame and ebon horns.
Just in case, like something would happen, I'd already have it on because it's a bonus action,
Yeah,
and any points, any juices count.
swath of shadowy flame engulfs you as you contrast the pure milky white of this low-hanging cloud. And as you get lower and lower, it gets colder and colder to the point where it almost becomes unbearable. Make another Constitution save.
Oh boy. Here we go. Again. 13.
You take get the calculator up. 8 points of cold damage as you get further and further down. And after a certain point, you hit water. Your form of dread parts the waves just a little bit in front of you. This churning, frothing, bubbly concoction of ocean water and seaweed and wood and ship detritus, cloth and bits of books and leather and stone and glass are being slammed against you as you go further and further down. How far down do you want to go?
Does it seem like I will be like braving much more damage
Yes.
if I keep going down?
If you keep continuing down, you will be taking more damage. If you get lucky with your rolls, you might not take as much damage. But
I see, but
do you have
it seems like
resistance
it's
to cold, or do you have anything that gives you cold damage negative modifiers or anything?
I don't think so. I think I'm going to like if I stop here, like I'm pretty safe. Question mark. I'm like safer.
If you stop right here, you won't take any more damage. But
Okay.
you can't really see anything because of the chaos that is this like coastline. This is a natural force that you're trying to deal with. This is something that is even beyond magic at some points, or would take an incredible amount of magic to try and calm.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna draw Form of Dread and then pop it again.
Okay. Sure.
Right. And then
Keep going down?
we'll keep going.
Holy shit. All right.
Bye, Phoenix.
All right. How far down do you go? You are right now. You are fully engulfed in water, and this is the surface of the ocean, the North Sea. And not only from now on, not only will you have to make Constitution saves for the cold damage, but you'll have to make dexterity saves or an athletic check to
Oh,
fight against the ocean.
Okay. Maybe I'll just try to see like for like a second to see if I can go, and then if I can't
Sure.
see anything, I'll just come back up.
Sure. Okay. You kind of park yourself here for just a second. All right. Make an investigation check one more time.
Okay. What'd I roll?
A 13.
Well, 13.
With a 13, you don't see anything for the first few seconds, and a little bit of panic starts to set in. But coming from the blackness of 100 feet down, you know, the light kind of pierces the ocean for about 10 or 20 feet, but anytime after that, it gets bleak. But suddenly, you are engulfed in this bubble of, well, it's not quite as pure as what you had experienced during the fight with the dragon, but this bubble of a combination of air and that acrid, sour miasma that had engulfed the entirety of the party, that had filled the room that you were in, and it lifts you up. You're spat out of one of the geysers that shoots the water through one of the tubes. You're kind of dragged into one of the caverns, as it were, and you are spat out, soaking wet, kind of slaked in this fatty acid that is all over your armor. It sizzles a little bit on you. And the air inside of this sea cave you find yourself in is sour. And it is very dark. You can still see a little bit, however.
Yeah, with dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Oh no,
And you
actually,
will
yeah.
give it back to everybody on top.
Mm.
And after Lillian whispers something to you, or whispers something to Corbin, Corbin looks back at you guys and says,
That dragon was something that Ipswich spoke about at length. Often.
and Corbin starts to walk towards the group, almost with like haste.
But when he spoke of it, it was not a dragon. That is the entity, allegedly, that granted Ipswich his dominion, his powers, his ability to sway those with his tongue and his sword and his magics. Asafax.
And he says the name out loud, and nothing happens.
Asafax was Ipswich's patron. Something terrible must have happened.
Something must have gone wrong between them if he were to imprison it beneath his castle.
Which makes sense. He spoke often about a great fight with him and
He looks at the windows.
his friends. Ultimately, they were able to chain him. But when
And he looks at Lillian.
Ipswich spoke of him, it was on another plane. This was in the Feywild. This was never here. Nor was it a dragon. He was a lord of the court. Lillian, fetch the others. I wish I'd paid more attention in class.
And Corbin kind of looks beside himself and puts his hand on his sword.
There are some tales of the Feywild, well, portals to it, appearing in strange places. Sometimes you could wander into a forest and end up in the Feywild. The Fey are tricksters. They are tricky in general. They'll find ways to sometimes move mortals into their realm just for the fun of it. So it could be that there happened to be, I don't know, even a temporary portal beneath the castle, and perhaps saying his name opened it. I do not know. Magic is vast and changing, and with how practiced Ipswich is, Orlok or not, he had a grasp on it. So it's possible he had this name for a reason, written here for a reason. I do still think it was foolish to have it so out in the open, though.
He, as Lillian exits the cathedral, he turns to the other student that was next to him.
Go check on Master Elodar. Please. And if he can stomach it,
And Corbin looks pissed.
I would like to have a word with him. I am sorry this lie became yours to bear as well. I am worried about Phoenix. Where is he?
Argentum will like lead him to the edge and just point down. I don't know if we can see Phoenix at all, but
No, you look down and no checks or anything required. It's quite obvious. He has descended beyond the milky mists that surround Castle Elodar, almost like a fantasy castle in the clouds. But Corbin looks down and gets on one knee and kind of tries to take a closer look. And he puts his head in his hands.
I can't do this again. Not when he just came home.
I don't think he's gone, darling. I think he's just looking around. It's not as though he just jumped and sacrificed himself. Doesn't really strike me as his style. But
Don't know him very well, do you?
hardly.
He's dramatic, but not that dramatic, I imagine.
He's very dramatic. Speech-giving boy, that one.
We'll cut back to Phoenix.
Yippee! I can't believe I missed all that. Wow.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
ha- I'm
happens when you
very
just
happy.
jump off the side of a cliff.
Should I jump?
but-
Yeah, do it. Okay.
In this little cave of sorts, you walk further in, about 20 feet in, it opens up into something that you would imagine is encompassing a large part of the underside of Castle Elodar. You do know that underneath the castle is like holding cells. There is a dungeon down there.
Right.
There is it's where Ipswich keeps very, very precious items, tomes and scrolls and people to some extent, creatures, things like that. But this is even further down, and stalagmites and stalactites abound. This seems like a naturally formed cavern. Maybe not a natural cavern, but a naturally formed cavern. And on the inside, encompassing the majority of it, is a large slightly glowing green, bubbling, popping, hissing, and sizzling pool of acid. And that's about all you see down here. It's maybe because of the viscosity and the composition of this acid pool, it's kind of hard to see through it and see how deep it is. It could be anywhere between a foot and 30 feet, right? And it's about 50 to 75 feet wide in diameter itself. And there aren't any chains. There's nothing. There's no physical restraints anywhere. But you see, how far does your dark vision go?
I'm about to find out right now. I don't have it on hand.
You have that little lantern, or does Sunder have that lantern?
I think I have it.
Okay.
You do.
Yeah, I think I was the one who held on to it.
Mhm.
I actually don't have the card for that lantern.
Let me grab it. Hold on.
Was about to
All
say,
it does
you,
is extend your dark vision. It just makes your dark vision like 1.5 times more like stronger. So you get an additional like 30 feet of dark vision.
Okay. I think it is 60.
Okay.
But
So
I
you
might
would
be
see
wrong.
this.
Yeah.
It's not quite
Okay.
that tall, but you would see swaths of draconic runes written out in several concentric circles. It almost looks like a constellation that has been like etched on the inside dome of this cavern underneath of the castle. And it seems like they're all like burnt into the stone itself, as it every now and again chunks of the rock fall and bubble up and sizzle into this pool of acid. Yeah, you don't speak Draconic, do you?
Nope, no clue.
Read or write it at all?
Nope.
Okay. Then it's pretty much Greek to you, but
Yep.
it is magical. That's easy to tell. There's a very faint green light coming from these runes, incredibly faint, but just so much that you're able to make it out just at the edge of your dark vision, and that seems to be about all that's down here.
Okay, and it doesn't go anywhere else. It's just
No, it is
just
a
the
dead
pit.
end. There is a pit, and if you would like to jump in the pool of acid as well, you can. But that is up to you.
Can I like? I'll dip like I'll take one of the obelisks.
Okay.
One of the 6 stupid little things I've been holding
Let
on
me
to since the
find
beginning
these
of the
things.
campaign.
Hold on. They're actually an item. Give me a second.
That I stole from
Yeah.
the beginning ritual.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. So you take out one of these tiny little obelisks. It's about the size of like like a bottle of like mascara or something. You know, it's like it's like a thin, longer tube that's been faceted. It's like this. It's the same black stone as you take it out and kind of look at the ground and everything around you. It's made out of the same black stone that everything Castle Eladar is built on. And what, in fact, Ivbranca was built on, and most of the cities and temples and farms and stuff along the coast of the Northern Sea is also built on this. What do you do with it?
I'm gonna like dip it into the acid to see like how quickly, like what's the reaction like to
You
stone.
dip it into the acid. You take it
Yeah.
out, and it kind of clings to it a little bit, like dregs on the side of a wine glass. And there is no popping or hissing or
Oh, nice. Safe.
sizzling away. It's just kind of fluffing off like you dipped it in like a goblet of vegetable oil or something.
No reaction to the blackstone at all.
No, almost inert.
I'm gonna touch it. Like
Oh, you-
touch like
okay.
the with the tip of my finger. I'll like
Tip of your
touch like the
finger.
part that's like touching the obelisk. 'Cause
Okay,
I
all right.
scooped it out, right?
Yeah, okay. So you just kind of run your finger on the obelisk.
Yeah, just to see.
Your raw finger, you raw dog in this.
I mean, it's gloved. I've been gloved. I'm not gonna take my gloves off.
Okay, so you rub your finger against the acid, and
Yeah.
almost as though as soon as you touch it, it eats through the leather, and you run your finger down the obelisk, and it starts to eat through the flesh on your hand. You start to feel pain about halfway through the obelisk, like stroking maneuver. Do you retract before you?
Yeah,
take
I'm
damage?
done
Okay.
with that.
All right.
I'm
Yes.
glad I didn't jump in, guys. Yeah,
I'm
yippee.
glad you didn't jump in either, man. I don't think they could handle that.
Yippee.
Okay. But yeah, that's all you see down here.
Yeah.
And that's all you're able to get.
And-
The pool itself does emit a very small amount of light, and as do the runes that are arching all across this dome of black rock above you.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I should ask, but there's no. I mean, there are probably walls in here, but there's no the wall. Yeah.
There is no the wall. No. You still have his blade?
I do sell his glaive.
Okay.
I'll take another look around just to make sure. And I guess I'm turning back.
Okay. You turn around and walk towards the light of the. You were just above where the ocean meets the rock itself, so you have a little bit of a brace to get back up onto one of those outcroppings if you would like. The glaive is a little bit cumbersome, but it takes maybe 10 minutes for you to muscle up with the glaive the rest of the way back up. And guys, yes, if you're looking over the edge, you are able to see as soon as Phoenix reaches a hand out, and then eventually one with the glaive, you're able to see Phoenix start to pull themselves up the black rock, being splattered with sea foam and bits of stone and refuse from the fight itself. Papers are clinging to him like paper mache, and books and other weaponry and things like that are just kind of churned up in the froth of the North Sea, as it takes maybe 10 minutes for him to fully get up here, because Featherfall ain't no spider climb.
True.
But yeah, he gets up here, and the glaive hits the flagstones of the cathedral. A wet hand from Phoenix hits the other side as he presses himself up and rights himself, dripping with frost as it starts to rime his clothing.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I look down at the glaive. Better than some.
No sign of him?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Which really doesn't make any sense. I mean, I jumped off, and he should have been the same speed as me.
Was it a straight shot down into the water?
There's some places you could jump down to, but not really any places to hide.
If he had plummeted from where they did, would they have just fallen into the water or somewhere else?
Well, I mean, if I looked over when I looked over the edge, he should have not even been anywhere close to any ledges. So the fact that he's gone is
Strange.
a mystery.
Well, I have an idea. If it helps.
Sure, I'm all ears.
Wasn't there supposedly a temple to Elistray below this castle?
Corbin pipes up. Yes.
Was there? Oh.
You need to get to work on your memory, darling.
I do a shrug, like large.
You were saying, Corbin.
There is a temple to Elistray. Yes. Just below the dungeon. Now the question is, did it come with us when we were separated from the mainland? I don't know. We have to go and investigate.
In all this time, would my Fey friend should have found if it's
And
separated
it's a
or
mind
anything
link
else?
through a mile, right?
Yeah, that's what it
You don't
says.
hear any words, but you feel the emotion wash over you, the familiarity of a somebody who had found their lost car keys, or the sudden revelation of you remembering where your wallet was, the eureka moment of you remembering that, yeah, you did have an appointment at the doctor today, right? some overwhelming emotion of, oh my god, yeah, there it is.
They found something. Okay, can I have them come back, and lead the way?
Yeah,
Or if I guess if I like, nah, maybe not. I was gonna say if I divine sense, I'd be able to smell them, but they're not celestial.
You get the
finger
feeling
undeads.
that they're gonna bring whatever it is with them.
Okay. All right, then I'll
Alright.
wait for that.
Cool. Shortly after, Corbin begins pacing the cathedral himself, kind of lost in thought. He goes over to some of the item plinths, just kind of knits his brow, bites his fingernails before he looks at Phoenix and says, through slitted eyes, "You were very close to him. Did he mention any of this to you? Why were you the one to say that name a second time?" He walks closer to you.
Huh?
"I've known you for years, like a brother. I know when you lie. I know when you tell the truth. Tell me right now, did you know anything about this?"
I mean, I'll be honest. Can't say I did. If I did, I wouldn't have tried it a second time.
I want to believe you. So right now, I will. But if I find out that you did know anything about this, where Ipswich is, if not in his bed, Phoenix, your
I mean, come
absence-
on.
Your absence, you listen to me for just a second. Your absence has caused literally dozens of our friends to die. You gallivanting around with God knows who shows up, destroys our home. And you were the one to cause it. You were the one to say the name a second time. You were the one to bring out all the old dirty laundry. To just turn it into a typhoon of debris and lies. You, the strongest person I know, aside from Master Eladar, weren't here when he needed you the most. So if I find out you are lying to me, as much as I love you, I will kill you. He puts his hand on your shoulder. And I do love you. But you've destroyed my life.
Phoenix opens his mouth to start speaking, and then he doesn't. And closes it.
How would he have known?
I don't even know who the hell you are.
For the record, Corbin, I spoke it both times. He told me to speak it a second time because we had hoped it would perhaps shift things back. We did not know it was the name of a being below. And if it gives you any comfort at all, I did not get the sense that Phoenix or Zack or whatever his real name is, I did not get the sense that he knew what it was. He could not even read it. I'm the only one in our group who can read, speak, and write Draconic. So if you want to blame anyone for this, blame me. Because I am the one to blame.
You didn't get the sense that he knew. And neither did I. So please, all of you, just let me pick up the pieces.
Yeah, I'm minding my business.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he doesn't really even pay attention to you.
Argentum will nod and walk over to Ray, and they will just slip their hand into his. Just quietly.
Corbin turns and his boot heels clack across the flagstone as Lillian and the other students rush in, looking a little confused at why Corbin is leaving in such a rush. A few of the other people that you traveled with come in. The cadre of drow women, Elandra, come in to kind of survey what has actually happened. A few of them, a couple of the drow sisters look a little scared, a little put out. Elandra doesn't seem to be too phased by this. It's just another day of dealing with horrors underneath the surface, which is something that she's quite adept at. You have people that have been freshly jostled, even one person kind of nursing a splint forearm. You have another person, cloaked, covering up maybe some gashes. A lot of them require stitches. A lot of them require, medical attention, but that's just going to have to wait for a little bit. There's a couple of other people. There are folks that kind of ran this town. It wasn't just students that were here. There's one or two, humans. There's a couple of drow that have kind of been in the kerfluffle as this thing, as this atoll that you guys are on kind of removed itself from the mainland. And one of them in particular is about 5 feet tall, and looks like that maybe this is like, this is not their true height. They may be like kind of bent over, hunched over, something like that. But they have a hood up, and it doesn't look like they're trying to like draw attention to themselves. They look thin and frail, almost weak. In some, maybe even in the wall's eyes, they would be seen as relatively weak. But as they move, they like clink and rattle. And a couple of the students are speaking to them, and they don't say anything. They just kind of nod their head up and down or side to side. They use their extremities to kind of gesticulate and stuff, that are currently under like long tulle or jute or like burlap clothes and robes. And one thing that really stands out about this person is that around their waist, they have a pretty large leather tome over their side, kind of like one would wear like a crossbody bag or a satchel or something. And from that holster is like this like black stone slab. And it's one of the things that you have noticed as this thing moves, that like moves with them and makes noise with them and clinks around and jostles and tatters and stuff. But the students are pointing out various parts of the building, pointing out the item plinths and things like that, almost as though this isn't a student. They do the same with some of the townsfolk that are around as they, including the students, begin to pick things up and, sort the debris into piles, as it were, start to clean up this area and try and figure out what they're going to do next. Yeah. What do you guys do?
For peace of mind, with a new group of people making their way in, Can I just divine sense to see if there's any fiends, undead, or celestials with them?
Yeah, of course. You kind of take a deep breath, and on the exhale, you take in your surroundings in an arcane way. And around you, you see no Fae, aside from a very faint trail of what was very powerful Fae energy that was recently inside of this cathedral. But it's since kind of wisping away with the wind that comes in and churns out, and the waves that kind of roil it up into the entirety of the sea. But there are currently no Fae or undead. You do. How big is the radius again?
Good question. 5, 4, 3, 2. I thought I'd get it up before then.
That's okay.
Fuck. I'm gonna say it's probably around. There it is. Nope, that's not it. Wait. It's probably 60 feet.
60 feet?
But I'm looking for it. I've lost
It
it.
is 60 feet, yes.
Yeah, I was going to hazard a
That
guess.
makes sense.
Okay, cool.
I was ready, dude.
You see at the very edge of your assessment a very weak, fiendish energy, but that is it. It is incredibly weak, and it's confusing that it's even there. But
What
yeah,
direction was that?
to
on the
the south of you guys, so towards Ivbranca.
Okay, is that like towards the where the dragon and wall fell, or is it like towards the door?
No, they fell out. They fell out to the west, the far west, and then
Okay.
the remaining ocean, the vast expanse out that way. South
Gotcha,
is
gotcha.
just towards Ivbranca, yeah, along the
Okay.
coast.
Argent, you feel when they're all walking in, my hand just kind of like yanks away, not with any intent, but just to quickly tie my blindfold back on. It seems to be I'm just kind of waiting for my pet to arrive. Like really focused on that. Very still, very focused on that.
Yeah, Argentum will just observe the new people coming in. They'll nod kind of apologetically to Elandra. And just kind of be staring down like Phoenix and Sunder, like kind of in a way it's like, what do you need? What do you want to do here? But just kind of looking at both of them, waiting.
Alondra directs two of the drow and then walks up to the group with her hand on her sword. She looks kind of at home in the chaos. It doesn't look like this has kind of jostled her too much.
Yeah.
It seemed like she was way more concerned for her family that she was with, her sisters. But she walks up to you, Argentum, and says,
What the hell happened here?
It is a long story.
Chaos seems to follow you wherever you go.
That is putting it lightly. Are you and your sisters? Well, are you alright? You weren't caught in the crossfire?
No, we helped some of the students out of a bit of a jam.
Thank
Support
you.
beam fell on a group of them, and I was able to lift it. And the girls were a bit frightened, but other than that, we're okay.
I'm glad. Good.
As am I.
The wall took a tumble. We cannot find him. For the time
her face
being,
kind of drops.
The
Took
warrior
a
you follow.
tumble.
Just putting it lightly.
I know. He was embraced by an amalgamation of old friends, and that amalgamation jumped off the side.
She looks at you with a frown and says,
That's a pity. He
That
was
is
one of you I
putting it
respected.
lightly.
she
No way that bastard's dead. So where do we
She
look
points
first?
over to the she points over to the ledge, nods at you, and then she walks over there. She doesn't really say why, but she walks over to the ledge and gets down on her knees. What were you going to say, Phoenix?
No, I said I'm like gonna, scratch my ear, like, earwax style. Like, so, I mean, no way that bastard's dead. So, where do we look first?
You didn't
Well-
find the body, did you?
Oh, but I found this. I'll just produce the glaive.
Only his glaive. You know,
see on the glaive, still there, the magically etched image of the dancing lady. You see the wall's name in various languages written around the blade. It's now cold to the touch. And this is one of the ways that you knew him, and you knew what he stood for. And then you don't hear it. It's very strange. At least you don't hear it enter. But Ray, you feel underneath of your arm a low purr. A very, very deep, cat-like exhale. And then the rest of you guys hear as a large metallic object settles in front of Ray.
No way. Oh, no way.
You guys turn around to see what all the ruckus is. And for the first time,
Put my hand on it.
you feel it, Ray. You pick it up. And it's very familiar. You run your thumbs across the reliefs and the ridges and the bolts and the welds, the rivets. It's the wall's great helm. But there's no light behind the eyes this time.
It's just a helmet, right? It's not like his head.
Just a helmet.
I don't
Where did you,
turn
where
around.
did you find it?
Sorry. Go for it.
Where did you find this? I say in my mind.
Where
was it?
The panther lowers its head, and you see its starry coat begins to shine and gleam. Its fur starts to waft in the breeze and kind of rustle up, and in your mind's eye, you can see just an empty space that is thrashed and buffeted by the cold ocean waves. But this space is almost like a delta or the entrance where the land meets the sea and then goes onward further inland. A river. The head of a river. Just to the north.
Oh. Oh. Can I see that glaive?
Yeah, so as I was saying, this glaive, it still has this shine to it, so... And then I feel like the energy
Not now.
behind me, and I turn around, and I see the helmet.
It
Just let
feels
drop
real.
to I'm holding on to it, but I just let my arm drop. And I hold it out to Zephyr.
I'd like to slowly grab onto it, assuming that if Elistray is still connected to the wall, she is not gonna like me holding this.
Mm. You hold on to it, yeah?
Yeah.
You grab it. And you think it will sting. Like venom through your veins. You think it will burn. Like the purple flames underneath his bronca. You think it will hurt. Like losing somebody you may have called a friend. But it's worse than that. It's just cold.
This helmet was found by a river to the north.
The river.
Moth home.
That's what I was thinking.
Guy went home.
I think that's where we need to check first, if we're going to try and find where he is.
I don't sense Elistray in this glaive.
Really? I mean, I'm gonna like lean into it. There's like the image of Elistray in the
Yeah.
blade, right?
Yeah, it is etched in there.
It's still etched in there.
Oh yeah, expertly so.
I mean, I like tap it where it is. Like, does it? It doesn't react. I mean, it probably doesn't react. But I'm like, I mean, it's still here.
Dink dink. Yeah. Just kind of reacts with a dull tink in your hand.
Picture of her. I mean, the curves, everything. You can't tell if she's in. She's not in there.
Her divine magic repels me usually.
Perhaps.
It did when the first time I tried to grab it.
Perhaps due to the circumstances. She is being kind about things.
I mean, there's no way.
What?
There's no way that he's gone. Come on, guys. It's the wall. Can you imagine it?
If there is another way down to the bottom of these cliffs, I could potentially cast Rit Forensic, and I could check what happened, but with the helmet and his leaving the glaive, who knows? He may be like Kelly and my family, somehow trapped within limbo. We know that Rory is still within limbo as well. So if anything, I believe our best lead, whether we want to believe the wall is gone, our best lead is finding our way to that temple of Elistray.
Alondra
Good plan.
walks up behind you, Ardentum, and says, I believe your best lead is in this very room.
What do you mean by that, darling?
It's the same thing.
And amongst the refugees, I have met a frighteningly powerful cleric.
In the short time I've known her, she has shown herself to be cunning, wise, and let me introduce you. You'll see why I like her.
She walks over to the group of students and refugees and townsfolk that have been kind of sorting debris and stone. And she grabs the frail one, kind of bends over, whispers something, gesticulates with her hands a little bit. Seems as though that Alondra's quite practiced at speaking to people that it's difficult to communicate with. And she writes this thing and regally almost, and with great respect, walks them over to you. And one thing you notice immediately, once you get a good look at this thing in the light, get a good look at her in the light, is a long, jet black beak. Ben, would you like to describe your new character?
Certainly. So, you see this as the DM was kind enough to describe a 5 foot, leaning more into 4'11" territory, given that she's got terrible posture, ashen colored crow person. She's got huge dark green eyes, a jet black beak, and a dark green hood that goes over her. It almost covers up her face, but it's mostly just, her beak and her eyes are still poking through. And you've noticed that around her neck she's got what looks like a metal collar, and it's got chains hanging off of it. Not huge chains, just small ones that seem to be dragging on the floor behind her everywhere she walks. And she's looking at the party with a mix of terror and curiosity.
That makes sense. That checks out.
And
She-
Alondra says, "Oh, go ahead."
No. She like nervously looks to Alondra and then back to the party, and then kind of takes gingerly takes a step backwards.
Yes. Is it okay if I reveal your name?
She looks to Alondra again, back to the party, and then gives a small nod.
This is Silent Beak. They are a cleric. Cleric specializes in those recently departed. Now, I haven't known them for very long. But, again, I think they are your best bet. They've helped heal a few of the students and townsfolk that are here to the best of their ability, and she is quiet.
Alondra smiles.
That's why I like her.
I get it, because
On that note, she's just been staring at the party this whole time, and she's gonna very slowly raise her hand, and on her hand, like these long slender bird fingers are almost like 10 or 11 silver rings, and she's just kind of holding them up to you guys.
and she's blinged out.
It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Argentum Rillis.
She stares at you again, and then slowly puts her hand back down to her side. And then she gives a small bow, as if to say hello back.
Argentum will bow back to her.
Oh, right, yeah. I put my hand up. Phoenix? And then I take a bow.
She's looking at Sunder and, and Zephyriel expectantly.
Zephyriel's
Come on,
like-
guys.
See if
This
he's like
is
Zephyriel's like just like you know that man standing emoji
Like actually man
with
standing. That's so
like the
funny.
glaive in the left hand and then the helmet in the right hand. Just like a fucking board right now.
You're right, dude. Oh my god.
Argentum will gesture to Zephyriel.
This is Zephyriel. Ray, we have a new companion who's willing to help us. She is short, feathered, looks sort of like a grey crow with a green
Help.
cloak. She seems very kind, very quiet.
Help? How?
Well, she specializes in recently departed. And we can always use more healers around. So,
We could use one period.
yes. And this is our dear Sunder.
Sunder will kind of look over because he's still kind of in shock of everything that's been going on. And he'll just give a quiet nod.
Beak is like looking at the whole party and like gauging them, like appraising them. But her eyes are gonna settle on the helmet that Zephyriel is holding. And she's gonna kind of slowly step up towards him and like look at it with some measure of curiosity.
Do you wish to see it?
She almost like jumps at Argentum's voice, but then she gives a very small nod.
Ray, would you mind if she took a look at his helmet?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe she can tell us something, you know?
As you take the helmet, it almost feels sticky in Ray's hands.
Beak will like grimace slightly at the stickiness, but she like looks at it very carefully, turns it around a little in her hands, pokes her beak inside of it, and just kind of like is examining it at every angle. And she hands it back to Zephyriel.
So what's the verdict?
She quickly grabs her little black slate that's hanging off this weird book satchel thing, and you notice that she has like a weird thing on her right index finger. That's like it's almost like a little brace at the tip, and it's holding a teensy tiny little piece of chalk. And she basically starts to scratch something into the black slate and then turns it over and faces it towards you guys. And it's a single word. Alive.
Phoenix like claps
Alive.
his hands. That's what I'm talking about.
Phoenix's yelling makes her drop her slate, but she like catches it.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, she's going to be a good lesson for you, darling.
I was never that loud. It is in a moment of excitement. It's right in a moment of excitement.
What is going on?
You see Alondra stomaching back a smile for the first time in a long time. If ever you've seen this from her.
Someone explain.
She took a very thorough look and investigated the helmet. And she wrote upon her slate that the wall is alive.
And how do you know?
She kind of looks to the ground and gives a non-committed shrug.
I'd insight check you, but I can't see you.
Yeah.
We can't talk to each other.
I mean, come on, man.
I love it. It's so good.
Oh, I love being the translator. Let's go, baby.
Oh,
And I can just fucking lie to you.
Oh God.
I mean, come on. Why would she lie? Wouldn't be any point.
I didn't ask if she was lying. I asked, how did she know?
She seems unsure, but it would seem. And Argentum will look at her, and I assume it is innate. Something from your clerical abilities that allows you to, I don't know, determine these sorts of things?
She gives a small nod.
Thought so.
I was gonna say it could be a hunch. I mean, I felt it too, I'll be honest. Hold on to the glaive and looking down. I kind of felt like there was no way he was gonna be dead. Well, I jumped.
Perhaps Alistair has him in reserves. Similar to Rory, I do not know.
Can I roll religion to see
Yeah,
if I know, like, if I recognize the name Elistray?
Yeah, of course.
Lamau. It's a nine.
Lamau.
I thought that was.
The
was like,
only way you know that name is in relation to texts that you have read that have to do with Lolth and the cataclysm that had happened 1,000 years ago. So a lot of that is still, at least by your knowledge, cryptic and hard to even read. And sometimes you've been told that some of the beings and entities in that history aren't even real. They're just kind of like fables or fiction. So you know this name, but you don't even know, like, you just know it in relation to Lolth. You don't even know if it's real or not because it doesn't have too much to do with what you've studied.
Well, Beak will still, like, grab onto the big old book that she's lugging around, like her satchel, and she'll go through the pages, trying to look for any mention of that name, but she's not gonna find anything. But as she's leafing through, anybody that's, I guess, within relative, like, seeing distance of her,
Yeah.
you can kind of tell that all of the contents of the book
Yeah.
are
I love this dynamic so much.
Suffer.
you see a lot of skulls and, like, diagrams of skeletons and just a bunch of really morbid stuff in that book.
Not much of a talker, huh? I'm gonna. Is the chalkboard still on the ground?
No. It
Okay.
kind of hangs off of her like the leather
Oh, she's got a
book
little
holder.
strap.
Yeah, it's attached.
It's on a little strap, yeah.
Never mind.
But on the mention of you saying that she's not a talker, she kind of looks a little dejected.
You're an asshole.
I mean, that's okay. I'm just saying,
Sorry.
making an observation.
And you're not much of a looker, are you?
I can look.
That's pointed at Phoenix.
I can look
That's not what I meant, darling.
any way I want. Yeah.
She will stow the book in her holder, and then she'll grab onto the slate and write another singular word and point it towards you guys. And that word is curse.
I see.
I heard more writing.
It says curse.
Elaborate.
That is all she wrote, and I assume that is why you cannot speak.
She shakes her head,
Oh.
and
Great.
she will open her mouth, and the noise you hear is kind of like... And it
Discord
is...
cut it out. It actually
Yeah.
is so
I
in character.
assume.
It was basically like a screech of a dying animal.
I see.
And it's the kind of noise that makes your your blood run cold.
Yeah, horrendous wailing and like a throat clawing its way out of a mouth.
That is the curse. Then.
Wow, that's cool though.
And she nods and then taps on the slate again, highlighting the word
Argentum
curse.
will elbow Phoenix so fucking hard in the ribs at the "that's cool" section. Fuck up.
And you all, as you all like let that sink in too, it at first it was a shock, right? But after about like 2 or 3 seconds, Phoenix, you feel a little nauseous, like you might throw up. Argentum, you get a very minor like tinnitus. Sunder, you get a headache that's like right on your brow. Feels like there's just a bunch of needles poking at it. All of you are just overcome with a very, very faint sense of unease and like foreboding.
Oh.
I see.
She'll wipe the chalk off the slate and write another word. It just says death. And then she points at her throat.
Oh, darling.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
If I play along, if he is alive, can you lead us to him?
She looks hesitant, but then she'll erase the word and write 2 more words. I try.
She will try.
Well, we're all a little cursed, so welcome to the club, I guess.
Yeah, you fit right in. We're all friends here.
Prefect Phoenix! Prefect Phoenix! You hear haggard footsteps of maybe 2 to 4 people. A couple of them may sound like they're limping a little bit until they come into the broken cathedral, the ruins themselves, bringing with them a little bit of wind, but also some snow flurries that kind of bluster up as they run up to you. Lillian, the very short brown-haired girl, the short brunette girl, runs up to you, Phoenix, and says, "Master Eladar is missing. We can't find Corbin. Can you help us?"
They're both gone?
She nods through tears and snot.
Oh, shit. And Corbin, too?
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, I'll be right back. Unless you want to follow, but...
I will come with you.
Alondra does too. She looks ready to bear. She's ready to go. She kind of follows next to you.
Lead the way.
Okay. I guess we'll go to run to his quarters.
All right. Beaks, do you follow?
Beak will quickly, put the slate to the side and give a firm nod.
Okay. Lillian, frantically, and with the help of her friend, as she's kind of limping along, leads you guys back into the Great Hall. This place has kind of like become a little bit homier. There's a fire burning in the remains of the fireplace. They're getting what food and drink that they can together. They're collecting all the supplies that they have on this little island that you guys have found yourselves on to kind of make it to the next day. Lillian walks past those remaining students, up a couple of flights of stairs, down a long runner carpeted hallway, sconces on either side, grand oil paintings of Ipswich and dragons, and depictions of fairies and lords and ladies. As you get closer and closer to the master suite, the door is already flung open. And as you enter, Lillian enters first, but as you guys swiftly follow, it is dark. And the doors and windows, these 10-foot tall grand stained glass windows are open. The curtains are blustery, snow and sleet kind of coming in. And where Ipswich has been sleeping, Phoenix,
Yep.
there is not like a white caustic scorch mark on the side of his bed. And there's one that almost looks like yeah, what would you like to do?
No, I'm going to hurry over to it.
You hurry over to it. You run over to it. Next to his bed, on his little runner rug that he had, that kind of has his slippers and stuff next to it, still unmarred. But immediately next to it is what looks like a almost like somebody threw a smoke ball or some sort of firecracker down on the ground, and then you see this white scorch mark radiating around a central point, and 2 footprints that are also these white scorch marks radiating around these 2 footprints. As you look around, trying to get a lay of what happened, maybe trying to suss out exactly where Ipswich may have went, your eyes fall on a letter on the side of the bed that was barren to Ipswich.
Like it was barren last time I was in there,
Correct.
and now there's a letter on it.
Now there's a
Okay,
letter.
I'll pick it up. Fuck.
You pick it up. Lillian looks at you frantically. A couple of the other students that have kind of come in behind you guys do as well. And what do you do?
Can I read it?
Yeah, sure. You
I'm not gonna read out loud. I'm just gonna read it quickly.
okay. So you crack it open. You break the seal on this golden piece. Hold on, the music I'm listening to is antithetical to the current situation. It's throwing me off. Give me a second. Okay. So you
All
crack
right.
the seal
Yeah,
on this letter.
it's like a wax seal.
It's a wax seal, yeah.
Okay.
With the seal of Ipswich's school, just the calligraphic letter I and then SS on either side, and it reads,
It reads.
Dear the one between. Your
Okay.
shadow walks faster than you now. That is how you know you are close. They know your face, but not your scent. The walls whisper, don't answer. The mask you wear is borrowed. And unfortunately, Those we have borrowed it from have come to collect. If they offer you wine, refuse twice. Accept the third time. The debt I owe is not blood, but memory. Don't forget what was never yours.
Sorry, is there more?
Sincerely, Master Elodar.
Does it look like his handwriting? It definitely sounds like him.
Oh, definitely.
It sounds like him. It looks like his handwriting too.
Yep, for sure.
I fold it.
Okay.
I turn to everybody and say,
What is it?
would you believe me if I said he went for a stroll?
No, I don't believe most things that come out of your mouth, though.
Well,
Give
I
it to
wasn't
me
gonna say that then.
straight.
I wasn't gonna say that then. I have no idea where he is.
Make a deception check.
$26.
Holy shit.
I'd contest that, but I don't know if I can fucking beat
Yeah.
it unless I'd have to nat 20 to meet it.
It's possible.
If you would like to, you can try.
I will certainly try, motherfucker.
Are we all there?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're all there.
Yeah, I don't believe you, but I can't tell which part's a lie. I'll say that much.
Okay, we can go with that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
While you guys are talking, Beak's gonna look at the like smoke bomb or like what remains of the smoke bomb, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
And see if they can like maybe find some trace that will point in a certain direction.
Sure. Yeah. Make an Arcana check.
It's a nat one.
Nat one. No.
Yep.
This is. It's not that you don't know what it is. This is some kind of spell. And it's like, a combination of reagents and other refuse that's byproducts of casting this spell. But this spell is so powerful, it is leagues beyond what you know and what you know how to navigate. But it is certainly magical, and that is something you're very sure of.
In that case, I am going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Ooh.
I love it. All right.
A trail.
Okay, let me check this spell.
This spell.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. That's not the right spell.
I'll be right back. Oh.
This spell is the white residue is a common byproduct. Like this chalky white residue is a common byproduct of anybody using a reagent to cast a conjuration spell. It happens almost every time. The like splay pattern and the spread of it is different. But this is definitely a conjuration spell. And let's see, what else do you learn from Detect Magic? You see the faint aura. You can physically see it. Yeah, you know that it's a conjuration spell. And it's
By the way,
encompassing
when-
about like half of the bed and then some of the floor.
When Beak cast this spell, the way it worked was that she lifted up her like ringed hand and basically did like a series of hand signs and spoke a word out loud. So you all hear another wave of
Yeah.
and you're once again washed with that feeling of just severe dread.
Hmm. Yippee.
But she does point to the bed, like, because you mentioned that there was some trace of it over the bed.
Yes, yes. Lillian walks up to you, Phoenix.
What happened to Master Eldar? Do you know?
I'm gonna try to recall. Without opening the letter, I'm just trying to think about what the letter said.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And
Go
I
ahead.
look at her. Then I say, went to the bank.
You feel it first. And then after a split second, you realize Lillian just slapped you in the face.
You always were a bastard. And I thought this would change you. Grow up, Phoenix. Find a new family.
I turn to Lillian. And my face is no longer like, that kind of smug expression. It is dead serious. Like the eyes are narrowed. And the light is no longer there. His mouth is just a line. And he says, in a voice that is maybe a little too hoarse, I was being serious.
She looks at you with regret and pain in her face. And as she cries, she holds a hand to her wounded eye as the tears burn. She turns and leaves the room.
So anyway, guys,
I cannot believe you. But I am trying to put the pieces together. If you are being serious about him going to the bank, do you mean he's gone to pay for something? Whatever that may mean for him.
honestly could be.
Just give me a straight answer, Phoenix.
It's about time.
It is, isn't it?
I'll be honest, the text he left me is a bunch of riddles, but from what I could tell, it's a tough crowd.
Alondra closes the door. Go on.
Can I have the text, by the way?
Yeah, let me get it to you. Hold on a sec. Copy. I will put it. I'll just DM it to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, where do you want to start?
At the beginning.
I'll look around. Who's in the room? Is everyone in the room? Or did some people stay
Everyone
behind?
is in the room except for the Drow sisters of Elandra, but Elandra is here. And there are no students in the room, including Corbin. All the party is in the room. Silent Peak is in the room.
And the whole party's in the room too. Like everyone.
Correct. Yeah, everybody's here.
Okay.
Mhm.
I look at the words again. Like sucks his teeth. Maybe it'll be easier if you shoot and I take it. I'll ask some questions. The beginning is too far.
Who are you really, darling?
That's a loaded question.
It is.
I
But
just
you
got.
all
Sorry. No, go ahead. Sorry.
But you all know who and what I am. You know my true name. Zephyriel at least knows the vast majority of my origins. And we've been through a lot together. I am sorry to be harsh with you when you are having your life crumble apart around you. And I understand firsthand how difficult that is. So I apologize for the brusqueness. But Phoenix, you have been dodging everything and brushing everything off. And I think it is time for at least some answers. You could at least show us what he wrote to you. Not that it might mean anything to the rest of us. Please.
Close my eyes. And I will say, I know you're probably angry. I wasn't lying to you, though. That one time, when I gave you the name, I know that probably pissed you off at this point in time. I could tell. But I was telling the truth. I've actually only lied one time to you. It's when we first met.
Oh, yeah?
Remember what I said?
Hmm.
I was a fan of you. Actually, I had no idea who you were.
Oh, I knew.
Okay, makes this next part easier. Well, the man you're looking at right now, I didn't really want to be here saying this until maybe a couple months later. The man you're looking at right now is Zach. That's no lie. That's the truth. And, well, I suppose since everyone else has come clean, it's time for me too. Zephyriel, did you hand me the helmet?
For what reason? The answer is
Important.
no if you're going to use it as a prop to your monologue.
It's important. To tell you the truth.
All right, I hand it over.
I take it in my hand. And I say, everyone suffers because of me. Everyone that is close, they disappear. And I think it is my fault. And his hands are shaking. But and I put the helmet on. Everyone that is gone. And you watch as Phoenix's shape grows. And grows. And grows, and he gets more muscular. Until his head is the same size as the helmet. And the glint of the blue eye shines. Everyone lives through me. That is how I keep them alive.
Are you a changeling? A doppelganger?
So you already know. And it's Phoenix's voice, but from Wall's body. What they are, I mean. And it's Zyra's voice.
Don't do that to me.
And then the voice that comes out of his body is raspy. It's everyone I hold dear. Everyone that meant something. And I'll take the helmet off and you watch as he slowly rescinds. Back into Zach.
So, like a phoenix, the people you lost are reborn. That the purpose of the name?
I hate smart people so bad. Yeah, I mean, it's not much of a secret anymore.
So which is it? Changeling? Doppelganger?
Wait, are they different?
Yes.
Which one's the white one?
Changeling.
This is Phoenix's voice. This is Phoenix's voice.
Changeling, darling.
So what's the doppelganger?
Slightly different creature, often more insidious. Though I don't get that sense from you.
Right.
You're a bastard, but...
Nicest guy you met.
Mm,
And I put my
no.
hand out for a handshake.
Argentum will take it, but instead pull Phoenix in and just give him a tight hug.
It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Well, not yet. All right, kid. I'd pull back and you watch this within 6 seconds. His form changes again. You see about 5 feet tall, skin pale, eyes red, hair white down to the shoulders and kind of wavy, unkept, sort of. And he looks still natural in that outfit. Now you have.
Well. Argentum will very quickly create a mind link with Ray and try to almost implant the images of what they're seeing into Ray's mind so that they can better understand what's going on.
Beak is circling around Phoenix in like awe. Like she's so visibly fascinated by this guy.
Is it weird to... Is it possible to resist your mind link?
Nope. But you can tell me to fuck off mentally.
Can I close my mind's eye?
I close my mind.
Let me read mine. I'll throw mind link in the chat.
Oh, wait. Nate, do you have the picture?
Oh, the picture of you as the changeling?
Oh, yeah. I have. There's no way. I'm sorry.
Nope. Says nothing about resisting because it is not like detect thoughts where
Ah.
you make a save. It is just me linking our minds to is just me essentially speaking telepathically.
It is specifically speaking, though.
Yeah, we had ruled it previously when I was like showing you the like grasslands.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so they're trying to do that again, but show you what Zach actually looks like.
I think I would rather not be able to see that way.
Sure.
But if you want to mind link and just like be describing it, that's fine with me too.
Yeah.
I'll probably be silent though. Eventually, I am gonna yank the helmet back. Sorry.
No, you're all good. I would have. Yep. I'm not gonna change back, but the voice is still Phoenix's voice. You're all good, man.
Looking at Sunder like, anything to say, bro?
Figured this would happen at some point. The voice does not match the visual of what you're seeing. But I mean, to Ray, it's like, normal, right?
Yeah, Sunder's kind of just staring at Phoenix. I always knew something was off about you. Just could never put my finger on it.
They always say, gut feeling good?
You mean trust your gut?
I point to Argentum and they give a thumbs up. Yeah.
Elandra comes forward and says, "A sharp tongue and a sharper mind cuts paths no blade ever would. Sometimes deception is necessary.
I agree
And you
with
had
that.
even me fooled."
Beak has been furiously scribbling like things on her slate, then erasing them, shaking her head, writing something else, then like cocking her head, and after a while she shows you her slate and it's got dozens of questions. And they're all in this weird broken common, like changing hurt, question mark, dead, question mark, alive, question mark, size limit, question mark.
Size
just
limit is crazy.
Dozens and dozens of similar questions of just like, how does this work?
Love them already.
That's too many questions. I can't answer them all.
She realizes this, erases everything, and then writes one word. How? Question mark.
I love her.
Just give this bird like a huh? Like and it's Phoenix's voice again. Or Zach's voice, I should say. You just do.
She
Not sure.
doesn't
Came this way.
She seems unsatisfied by the answer.
I assume what they mean is that it is innate.
Exactly.
Is that
That's what I
my
said.
job now? I'm just
That's exactly what I said.
translator.
I mean, it's working out pretty well.
Yeah, Beak nods.
Argentum, can you make an intelligence saving throw for me?
Oh no! I've been waiting. Oh no, I sure can believe ya.
Oh man. Oh boy.
Oh no!
Okay. So you guys see Argentum, mildly, lightly complaining about having to speak many languages they have studied over the years, back and forth as a translator. And then you see their eyes glaze over, 1,000-yard stare in the corner of a room for no apparent reason. And you hear in your mind, as thin as a needle and just as sharp, Kalashtar. It's been so long since I've had the pleasure. It's roomy in here. Spacious. I kind of like it. How long have you been vacant?
Yo!
Bro, moving in rent free.
That's insane, dude.
What the fuck?
You can talk. It's fine. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for you to respond.
Who are you?
My name is Cull. Pertori. Cull. And I think we're gonna be really good friends.
Get out of my mind.
You can't make me.
I certainly can.
Go ahead. Try. Surrounded by your friends. 2 people you don't know. Because I know who you know now. Go ahead. Try. I'm going to wait.
You dreaming dark?
No. No, I'm not. Would never think of it. Why?
Just a hunch.
Let me dig a little deeper. Make an
Stay
intelligence
out.
saving throw.
Does this like seem like anything to us at all, or
It looks like Argentum is.
7!
It looks like Argentum is lost in thought. And like literally lost. Like they don't know where they are. So you got a 7?
I sure did.
Can
Fuck,
can
bro.
I roll to notice this?
Yeah, sure, of course. I guess that would be an insight check or an arcana check. I'll leave it up to you.
okay?
I'll do insights.
Okay.
22.
Wow.
22. Okay. Yeah, you've definitely noticed that Argentum is usually very sharp. They're quick-witted. They're there. In the short time that you've known them, they've been the font of knowledge for the entire party, and it's very strange. They've kind of zonked out in the corner of the room, like their lip twitching ever so slightly, their eye twitching ever so slightly, their hands not moving. They're just kind of, again, man emoji, just like looking at the corner of the wall. This is incredibly strange. And this is indicative of some mental assault. Something is going on in their brain, and you don't know too much more than that, but something's either screwing with them or trying to communicate with them.
Beak's gonna wave their hand in front of Argentum's face and see if there's any
Unfortunately,
response.
to no avail. They're still trained on the specter in the corner, whatever it is.
Interesting question. Since they mind linked with me and it lasts for an hour, when they speak in their head, will I still hear it? Or do they have to be like cognizant or consciously deciding to
So
target
if you
my
are
brain?
confirmed mind linked, and Argentum, I want to confirm that with you. Are you mind linked with Red?
Yeah, had
Okay.
it mind linked. Yeah,
Okay.
They were
they
describing-
didn't
So
drop
what
it,
you
but they were
hear-
mentally describing.
What you hear is like the back end of a decay of reverb. You don't hear the whole word. You don't hear a whole conversation. You just hear like something strange. It kind of sounds like Simlish or something, but it's like it's you hear it's like
What of
it's
a
like,
Minecraft villager.
it's like you're listening to a conversation at the other end of a cathedral. You can kind of hear the whispers and stuff just because of how everything is acoustically made, but it's like you're getting bits of conversations and consonants and things like that. So it's not entire thoughts.
Okay. I don't want to interrupt, but that's good to know.
No, you're good. You're good. And in your head, Argentum, you hear, that's good to know.
What?
Your parents went out the same way mine did.
What?
You don't know who I am, do you?
I'm sorry. I don't. Did we know each other? Should we? Should I?
I think you should. If you're after who I think you're after, we're gonna be great friends.
I have another soul. I have another soul. He needs me.
I can tell. He's been gone for some time. What if I told you I could help you get him back if you helped me?
You want the same thing I want? To find those that took everything.
I'll explain more in time. I'm still moving in.
Can I grab Argentum's shoulder?
Yeah. Argentum, make another intelligence save.
I grab their shoulder. You are thinking too loud.
That's a 12.
Make it with advantage because of the grab shoulder.
Okay. That's a 14.
14.
Unlink. I say,
Unlink, please.
if I'm just hearing the fucking reverberations, yeah, that should drive me crazy.
Is it working?
You feel the link sever from Ray, very much so. Just like the snipping of a thread that was pulled a little too taut.
So the rest of us just see Argentum like spacing out.
No,
Or, like, now-
after you sever the mind link, that seemed to be the chair kick. You know, it was the thing that jolted you back into cognizance. Your breath starts to take pretty heavy. Your mouth tastes weird and floral. Purple thoughts fill your head for some reason, but you're back.
Sorry, I forgot to sever things, Ray. It's my bad.
Beak tilts her head at you.
Everything all right?
Yeah, you good?
There's a new resident in my mind. It is not Vivacary.
What does that mean?
I assume another quarry. They say that I should know who they are, and their parents went out the same way mine did. So
So they're saying they're one of you. One of the same.
Not a Kalishtar, but well, they'll say in their mind to call. Just, am I right? You're a quarry then, or a piece of a Kalishtar?
They don't say anything, but you feel a sense of correctness.
It's weird not hearing words back all the time.
And they'll just say that out loud. Just
Yes. They are a quarry soul.
And does that happen? Usually?
I've never heard of this happening. Mind you, most of my life was raised by my adoptive fathers, but I've always been with Vivacri, and even then, I was an anomaly.
So you just entered without your consent.
Yes.
Okay. A walk is. At this point, Phoenix will stand up, Phoenix will stand up and like turn back into the Zack form as he stands up and walks towards Argentum, and like just leans in a little bit, looks in the eye. Hey, get the fuck out of there.
I love Phoenix so much.
God damn it.
There is an overwhelming urge for you to slap Phoenix, but he's been slapped a lot today.
Hey.
Yeah.
And it kind of smacks you out of that, like, almost, it's kind of like guiding you on that path, but you've kind of taken control again.
What's your name? I'm gonna like pop cat.
It was DM. It was Cole Katori. Yeah.
Pertori. I didn't want to P too hard.
Kertori.
on the Microphone. No, Pertori. Cull. Pertori Cull. I'll type it out.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Silent Beak is looking at Phoenix and then looks over to Argentum and then writes on their slate one word. Normally they write everything in a lowercase, but this time they wrote trouble with a capital T.
Trouble, trouble, trouble.
Their name is Patori Cole. And they
P.
deeply wish to slap you just now.
Well, tell Petori. And you can tell by the way he's acting. Now that you've seen, like, the changeling form, you can tell that it's definitely like Zach's personality, kind of. It's different than how he was. Tell this motherfucker. I mean, now that you've seen me, it's much easier. We'll drive you out of this place. If it takes hours and hours of back-breaking goblin sex, I can do it.
What?
And I turn into one of the goblins.
Is this the game now?
I turn into one of the goblins. You know who it is.
Shinebringer.
I could do it. I could do it.
The fuck?
You want to watch that?
No, what the fuck, man?
Live, what the fuck?
Why are you the way that you are? I will figure this out. They say they can potentially help me get Vivacri back. And if
Oh,
I
wait, he's
can
a
get
friend.
an ally. For now.
Oh, why didn't you say so? And I'll turn back.
Unless I take that mind blade to my own forehead and sever him, which I do not wish to do at the moment.
I don't
Do you
think
not-
that would be pleasant. I'll be honest with you.
No! I already know the emptiness. And also, I do believe the dreaming dark know where I am, so it is only a matter of time anyway.
You get a little bit of a headache, and you hear, I am a weapon, but you can only unsheath me once, Argentum. Be careful where you point that dagger.
You did catch that I say I do not wish to do it, yes?
Wishing is not in your future. You're gonna have to.
Mm. So, in order, once we succeed in getting what you want, I take that dagger to my own mind to get V back in, yeah?
We gotta find him first. And I know where he is.
Then lead on.
I can
I'll take it.
also offer you information as much as I'm willing to. And you gotta make the deal really good for me. But Vivakari and I, we served in the same unit. Long ago, before he sang songs and made stories. He cut off heads, and he was good at it.
I believe it. His words are just as biting now.
And
It's
I'm
all right.
reading through some of your stories, and I gotta say, these aren't yours.
Oh, darling. I know.
Well, I can toss that dagger out of the sheath. Okay. Kind of hear the voice fade into a very soft reverb at the back of your mind. Stillness takes you once more. You feel as normal as you can be.
Oh, this is weird.
Having a new tenant.
Yeah.
It's like having a new tenant that does like Ring Fit Adventure at 3 in the morning. You know what I mean?
What is it, like instant gratification monkey?
Yeah.
You know that TED Talk?
Yeah. He's the one that tells you to like do the line of coke and the shot of whiskey. Like, you know,
Amazing,
it's not the
amazing.
either one. Or, you know.
Imagine just like Eric Reprit. I fuck
Argentum's
so
just
much
gonna...
pussy, I might switch to bussy. What does he?
Drop kick you into the fucking Oh, okay. Whew. Argentum will just kind of lay their forehead on Sunder's shoulder and just like.
I did have a question before
Yeah.
we set out. Phoenix, since you're, well, capable of changing shape, what are the limitations on it? Do you have to see the person to be able to change into them, or can you just do it?
That is, and this is, he's like back in the Zach body, in the Zach voice. He says that is a good question. I think I gotta see him once. No one teaches you these things.
I'll keep that in mind, because I might ask you for a favor later.
Like what? And if Zach Zach's face like makes his eyes don't move, but his mouth curls into like a smug grin, and then he becomes Sunder. Like this?
First of all, no, don't need to
Oh,
be
okay.
looking at myself. But
I changed back.
I don't know. I
No.
like looking at two of you.
oh, you flatter me.
Ooh. You're in an old man's bedroom.
You're not wrong.
We're like making out, two Sunders making out in my grandpa's crib.
Hell yeah, brother!
Two Thunders making out in my grandpa's bedroom.
The fanfiction writes itself.
No, it's more of a selfish request, not so much an indulgence of any type. It's more seeing if I can handle something or seeing someone again. Somebody that
Right.
I haven't seen in a very, very long time.
Well, you can, I suppose, I could help you, but it'll cost you.
What'll it be?
Don't die like the rest of them. I mean, that goes for all of you guys. It would really suck after all this.
That's a very hard promise to make, but I will certainly try.
You're saying you can only do it if they're dead?
I mean, oh, that's right. He can't see. He didn't see me turn into Sunder.
Yep, and we're not mind linked right now, baby, so I'm not describing shit to you.
Not necessarily.
Then I can tell you one of the limitations is that all it is an imitation.
That's all that it needs to be. I know it's not actually him, but seeing him again would be nice. Even if it's just once.
Well, do I know what they look like?
I can actually DM a certain DM of ours.
I mean,
a little
like,
bit of information about
like,
this.
oh, okay, not to me.
Okay.
Okay,
I
cool.
can DM a little bit of information about
You
this.
also you all hear at the door. Like a cat scratching at a door trying to get in.
I think it's
This-
like a Roomba.
It's fucking Penelope.
I think it might be the Pantwar.
Oh, you can tell, Ray. You specifically know almost exactly where this thing is. And yeah, sure enough, Soot is outside the door, scratching.
These are all ridiculous and interesting revelations. But I do not wish to stand in one place any longer, so I am going to take a walk. Goodbye. Leave.
You open the door, and Soot wraps themselves around you a few times, following you down the hallway as you leave the room.
As he's leaving, sorry. I thought in my head and then I laughed because it was so stupid. As he's leaving, I nod and then I say, "I'm nodding."
Wow.
So completely ignored, you absolute dick.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna break the scene on the group, but if that is that river reachable, is it nearby? If so, I think I'll just take a walk there while
Sure.
things,
Yeah.
sort of
The it
finds
takes
that.
you following Soot about 10 or 15 minutes. So it takes you out into the bailey of this little castle area, around the side of the cathedral, down a very precarious for you set of oscillating, like paths that go along the outside of this very tall island. The waves kind of like crash up against the wall that you can hear, crash up against the rocks and stones and stuff. And you are able to get down because this is on the inside, the interior edge of the island that you guys are on, that isn't really being battered that hard by the ocean itself, not the raw force of the ocean. It's kind of like been broken and flows all and around this fjord. And can the Panthers see for you?
I was just about to say that it like breaks my heart that just poetically by chance with the wall's absence, I now just suddenly have this seeing eye cat.
Oh,
Because I mean, it does see, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a normal fey, steed. It's very otherworldly, but yeah, it absolutely can fill that role and be a
Sure.
guide and be
I'll say
eyes.
you
I
don't
can't see. I can't see through its eyes, but
Yeah, you don't see like organically like you normally would. It's kind of like this purple and black perception, this like wave of like ridges and you can tell where like objects are and vague shapes and things like that. So you're
Yeah.
able to make your way down this with Soot's help.
yeah, I still have 10 feet of blind sight too.
Yeah, fairly easily. It's not treacherous. It's a little steep, but it's like going on a really steep hike. After about 15 minutes of going down the side of this sheer rock face, and taking in the area, the move of this island away from the mainland again had a vacuous effect. So it filled in the what would have been rock, land, black rock, bedrock, that kind of thing in with water, and has caused like a natural cave-in, a natural crevice of stone and loam and grass and trees and debris and roots along inland by about maybe 20-30 feet. This tectonic event that Acervax instigated has created a brand new river.
Wow. Wow.
And the salt water is rushing into this to fill this void that to what you can see right now stretches as far as you can see. It doesn't wind, it's just one solid crack. There's a few like juts and changes of several degrees and stuff like that, but there's a new river now.
Does it stream? Like, is it moving water?
Yeah, it's moving from the ocean down into the earth. It's streaming towards the peak of the spine of Lolth, which is strange because much like the Amazon, it's kind of a river that flows in a direction that's not, gravitationally or mathematically possible. But yeah, this gap in the earth is sucking water in from the North Sea towards the spine of Lolth itself, over towards where you guys were with the goblins, and towards where you guys believe you need to go in order to enter the tournament that Selvatarm is going to be hosting, that you guys had mentioned or heard about. Yeah.
And we never found like a lead of the pit fiend's direction.
No, not from. You guys didn't do a whole lot of like major investigatory work around the Great Hall where the pit fiend did their theatrics.
Right before the dragon came.
Yes, right before the dragon came. But no, you guys don't know where the pit fiend went. But I mean, you probably could do some research or ask around or do some more investigatory work and ascertain that answer, I would imagine.
I would imagine too. I'm not going to do that right now.
Okay.
I'm just going to sort of like stick the glaive into the ground at like the bed of the river and set like the helmet down, and then I'll sit down.
Okay.
And then out loud to Soot, I'll just say, "This sucks."
Soot thrums their throat against you in a very calming, rhythmic fashion. You hear a small whine, very deep, cat-like whine, come from their face. You feel their very, very soft cosmic fur rub against yours. You hear the holes in the wall's great helm fill with water and recede away. And the glaive is beaten and then washed around. But neither the glaive nor the helm topple under the force of the water. The glaive doesn't fall. The helm doesn't fall. The wall doesn't fall.
Doesn't fall.
I wasn't supposed to care this much. What a stupid thing to do. What an absolutely selfish decision to make. I need you to stay for a while. I wouldn't
So-
normally call you from your home.
So it sits and obeys the order immediately. Is very concerned for you. Kind of keeps contact with you. Puts their paw in your lap.
I think I'll just sit there.
Okay. And as the water makes its way to fill the void into the heart of Lothlorian.
I'm gonna...
Yeah?
I'm gonna angrily throw some gold into the river.
Okay. You grab a couple pieces of gold from your pouch.
That's a deduction!
You hear blop blop, and then one of them boom, hits his great helm, topples into the river. And the sun begins to set as it hits about a little after 5. The wisps, the aurora borealis over Lothlorian, just as active, just as fierce. The snow dies down, the winds as well. And the water courses through the new vein that is created in the heart, to the heart of Lothlorian, to the spine of Lolth. That is what we're going to call tonight.
Damn, brother.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Gamers.
Okay.
Gamers.
I actually cried a couple times there.
Oh, Gamer Nation, how we
Man.
doing?
Yeah,
I'm okay.
I was tearing up a little too.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
The wall never
Yeah,
falls,
dude,
damn
this
it.
sucks.
This
Wall
rule
never falls
Until he does.
until he falls off a fucking cliffside.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But that's the thing! The wall never falls!
He was pulled.
But here's the thing.
Here's
Here's
the,
that
here's the
thing.
thing.
Let's stop.
Thing.
Okay.
Wow.
That
Fuck is
Oh
went
my goodness.
a lot better than I thought it was going to go. I was honestly, I was afraid for Phoenix's life there for a second.
I thought he was gonna jump in
I
the
heard
acid.
I heard that.
Because I'm not pulling any punches anymore, guys. Watch your ass. Watch your ass. Like the kid gloves have officially been removed, and we're playing the game now. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
kill
Yep.
you, but like there is a distinct possibility that you will die.
Yep.
And
True,
I hope that
true.
is kind of impressed upon you guys in a non-threatening way, where it's like, yeah, had a lot of fun, but it's there's a lot more questions now, and
Yep.
I've been waiting for this like lore drop episode for a while, especially for fucking Phoenix. Holy crap!
Hi
Hmm.
guys.
Did you see
Hello.
the chat too? Oh my god!
No, I couldn't
No.
read it. Until...
Argentum just kicking out your knees verbally, like, tell me.
Yeah, right. Please
Tell me. Fucking please.
And can we hear it for Silent Beak?
I agree.
I was about to
Oh,
say.
I agree.
I love Silent Beak.
I love Silent Beak
her
now.
so much. Oh,
I
my
agree.
baby queen.
I have a soft
I love
spot
the,
for
like,
King
The
Tuesday.
cross
Yeah.
dissolve toward this bird.
I just open up the stream and see a bird.
Dude, I
Cartoon
love
to realism. It's
dude, I
scary.
love this reactive PNG that
I do too.
I have been looking at stream. Hold on.
DM, can we
just
keep
saw
them?
it. I just saw it. Dude, holy
this
shit.
dude, watch it move, dude. Watch it.
We have to get Vieira to do a
Oh my
Silent
God.
Beak.
I'm stuck in ads. Let me.
But that was the mystery character that I was teasing earlier, where I'm just like, we're gonna have Corbin, and then we also have Silent Beak that we're getting done.
Can you give us your best
Aw.
crow,
Oh my god.
crow-like sounds?
He tried.
Yeah,
tried
it gets
in
cut off by the mic
Discord.
thing.
Discord's
Close enough.
Dude, whenever you said Ben's new character, I immediately almost just fucking lost my shit. Dude, I was in tears.
really.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
man.
just knew at that point like we were not gonna get to play with the wall anymore. At
Yeah,
least for
no.
quite some time.
Yeah.
I was quite
You never know.
quite
This
heartbroken.
This was a roller coaster of emotion. I'm gonna be
I know.
so honest.
We all like the
I got,
wall.
I got pissed off.
I
at
saw
Corbin,
the
I'm not
secret
gonna
roll
lie
and
to
I
you.
was like, oh, I better get the other playlists going.
Yeah, no one saw anything though.
Nope.
But I heard the noise. I tabbed over, saw the roll. I'm like,
Oh.
Yeah, you were getting pissed off, Juzo. Let's go.
Yeah,
Tell me
I
more,
like I
baby.
sat here whenever I was like trying to stick up for Phoenix. I was like, yo, he didn't exactly know. I don't even know who you are. My blood boiled right then and there. I was like, I'm going to punch the fuck out of this guy if he says one more thing. I am going to hit him. But he walked away.
He became the wall for like a brief second, but was taking really long to explain why. And then I was like, "This is a joke. I'm gonna kill you, dude."
I mean,
Fortunately-
I guess you didn't get to see it.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
I
just,
didn't get to see the wall.
just heard it and realized how empty it was. No
Yeah,
wall.
but
or
it
anything.
was the wall's voice, like perfectly. Basically, I mean, I can't do it perfectly because
I
Ben's
got
a
that.
crazy, big range guy. But whatever.
but
like-
not Wall's warm aura.
You fueled
Yep.
some fanfic shit tonight, didn't you? Like,
It writes itself.
you,
It didn't
you
help,
fueled some
though.
fanfic shit.
Oh my god.
Argentum's like, my friends are hot, so like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Out of the old man's room.
Ben, how are you
Uh,
feeling now, being a new character? in the
Yeah.
party?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Look, I love the wall as much as you guys do,
Yeah.
but I did kind of want to change characters after
That's
a bit.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair.
Mhm.
But I was too attached to the wall to really like actualize it until now. Because like I feel like I had a good out for it.
Mm, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
there was a nice opportunity with the closure of the banners arc as well. So
But I did want to like leave it ambiguous.
Yes.
So who knows? Maybe he'll come back. But for now, I want you guys to love Silent Beak as much.
I already
Already
do.
love
Oh, I think we
already do.
I hesitated to even ask Silent Beak to help find him because I didn't want your new character's like purpose to be around, it's like revolved around your old character. Because I do
Yeah.
think that the Silent Beak is such a wonderful concept,
Mhm.
and I think she will be a lovely addition and very
Mm.
fortunately adorable, like just as adorable.
It's gonna
So-
be fun having both of our characters try to communicate with each other when we get fucking.
Yeah. I sense some tension.
It's gonna be funny.
And I
Some
feel like you
annoyance.
have a pretty solid, like, Sunder is a really good martial combatant, and de facto,
Party
from a
composition
mechanical
fine.
standpoint, you're de facto front line now, man. So
I'm the front line. It's about to be getting even better because I have
What
some
am I to
ideas.
you guys? Am I not
Chop
the
liver.
front line?
the
Chop
whip is a ranged, sort
Just
of
an
ranged
extra
weapon.
5 feet. I'm
Okay,
still up in
alright.
their face.
Yeah, you're up in their face.
Just wait
But
until
it's
I
no-
get
It's true.
Paladin
My
aura.
point is, you no longer have this giant wall of meat in front
No,
of you.
it's true.
Oh, it's
Uh,
fine though.
It's true.
That can
I have secrets.
keep rolling.
Well, now that we have a healer,
Secrets.
there's so much more pain.
Yeah, you actually have a
Yep.
healer, which is crazy, and you guys can
It's
then
true.
use damage a bit more effectively because you really didn't have any source of.
I can
Maybe.
unprepare all of my cure wounds and like prayer of healing and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
I can
don't have-
unlearn
not my
all
job
of
anymore.
my healing spells too.
Now that you have a healer, nobody needs to heal.
In
Exactly.
fact, I'll just
No.
never replenish lay on hands. We just don't need it.
Never sleep.
Never sleep.
Every morning, I'm gonna pump 25 points into my skincare.
Yeah, it's your beauty
my
rest.
God.
Is my lay on hands.
Oh
is my beauty
my
rest.
God.
Bro's busting out the retinol cream. Like, that's crazy.
Oh
Lay on
man,
hands
and there's
on your skin.
yeah, so good,
So moist and good.
moist and hydrated. And you got a new head denizen,
Oh, yeah.
Praetori Cull, who
Ah!
is morally ambiguous at this point.
Dude's creepy as hell.
don't like
I'm gonna be
it.
so
Oh.
honest. I don't like him.
He's,
Oh,
he sounds
Creepy as
his
shit.
voice that you gave him sounds like between it's like a very twisted love child between like Heath Ledger's Joker and like
Owen
the
Wilson.
guy at
Owen
my
Wilson.
Yu-Gi-Oh locals.
I don't know which is scary.
Gonna make it worse and start licking your lips when you talk, John.
Oh, don't. I don't
got-
need to
so the
know
thing is
that
with him
Argentum
and his
hears
voice-
that in their brain.
I just got really close to the mic because I know that's just like if you would
Just
think
like, hey,
if you would
man.
hear something in your brain, you're just like it's
Hey,
gonna
man,
be
what's
right
up?
here, right?
Hey, you can
Yeah, I
totally
hate it.
understand My father.
Uh,
My father.
No, dude, if you start smacking your lips that close to the mic, I'm gonna fucking.
I won't, I
come
promise.
to your-
That's-
I will
that's
come to
me
your
too.
table tomorrow and deck you
For
in the
one of the
face.
sessions-
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
For one of the sessions when you do
died
that,
the
you
way
had to
that your
pull out the
father died.
ASMR microphone. Just
Oh yeah, I'll get my
No.
binaural mic out.
Kill you.
Oh, Mr. DM man, where's the party sitting? What we got? We
Are
leveling
you
up?
are you like?
Because I
a
know
No,
you
this is a
said
ding.
something.
Everybody levels up. I was gonna say that, but yeah, this is a ding. Everybody has leveled up. This is a
What level are we
level.
now?
Narrative level. Yeah. Well, no, you're
Thanks,
level
Wall.
6, right?
6? Oh, wait, are we 6 now?
Yeah, we're 6.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
5 because you got
Five
the extra attack
currently.
last time. So yeah.
I was
Yeah,
stupid.
you
Six, boys.
sixes.
Let's go.
Poggers.
Oh, I would get Aura of Protection at this level.
And
I'm
yeah,
gonna
Beak,
keep what I'm
you are
doing
level.
secret.
So if you would like to, I'm just gonna call you Beak. I don't want to call you Silent.
Beaky.
Beak is what I
Beaky.
call her for short.
Okay, cool.
I
Making
learn a
beat
new
me.
spell.
Nice.
Yippee.
Yeah. What do y'all get? What
I
do y'all
learned
get?
something. I get consultation, which I gotta remember exactly what that does. But I get a lot of shit at this level for Inscriptor.
Nice.
Mhm.
I have
Yeah,
a
Wall
new
got
I have a new
Gold
feat,
and it
guys.
levels up. Oh, you have a new feat? What is that? 3?
Yippee. No, this
got
is
3
the,
feet?
This is the second one because I
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna situate all my level stuff here in a little bit, but you guys are gonna know what's going on when we're in combat next.
yippee.
Yeah,
I think I'll have to
Same
check
for
what I
me.
said.
Sure.
Oh,
I
it'll
think
be-
I
it'll
love
be-
it.
It'll be a
because-
definite yippee, trust me.
The building is hard because I like I'm still using the old system because of reasons that the new system breaks a lot of stuff. And so I have to like I have to like use like a way back machine sometime. Like what did it say before? You know, because
Yeah.
the site that I usually use is updated to the new system, but I
Nice.
still use the old system.
Okay.
Hell yeah,
Well,
dude.
as long as it works and we can work it out, I'm not
Yeah,
pressed. It's all good.
prestidigitation.
Mhm.
Ugh. Okay. So it is pushing midnight here. We should probably go to bed soon.
It's almost 1 a.m. for me.
Yeah. We got early days. So I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter than usual. I next week we can all go down the line and say what we're all. I know. Oh wait, hold on. I know Nat 19 though. I wanted to plug this. I know Nat 19 has a new book out, right? You're doing a new Kickstarter.
Yeah, so we have a Kickstarter going on
Let's
right
go.
now for Zygalta's Exolunar collection, which if you wanted, like, if y'all like Gurren Lagann is kind of the vibe. Do you like big space robots? Do you like big set pieces? Have you wanted to do like a good space game? Looking at you, Spelljammer, you trash. It's trash, let's be honest here. It's bad. Trash. But if you want a super like JRPG inspired, if you wanted to pilot a fucking mech, you can do that with Zygalta's Exolunar collection.
Did you get a link? I want to spam a
So
link.
good.
Chat.
I put it in I think
yeah, you have
general
that here.
chat.
Here, hold on.
Yeah, I linked it in here.
I was like, guys, please look at our Kickstarter.
Double vouch for Nat 19 stuff, dude. Their spell lists are so good. There's actually a
Oh, yeah,
spell
dude.
in there that I mean, there's a couple spells in there I'm like drooling over. I'm like, oh, like the spells, like the flavoring is like actually so hot, and I'm here for it. So yeah, that's my second vouch for Nat
No,
19
it's
stuff.
a good time. I love what Logan's come up with for this one. I know he's really excited about it. I think the next campaign we're doing is going to be using some of the more high-tech stuff from Somnus Domina, so I'm very excited. So please go check it out. We were funded in 7 minutes, if that gives you any confidence.
Hell yeah.
People really
Yeah.
like it, guys. Go check it out.
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
You
And
get-
if you're
you can get a
curious
book
about
with
what's in
it.
the book, there is a preview document that you can download. And I think it's like 60 pages.
Oh, sick. Are we rolling?
Why is this in Spanish?
Well, I rolled my hit die and it hit a 1. I figured you'd let me re-roll the 1, right,
Oh yeah,
Liam?
for sure.
No way.
So that's why I rolled it
Get
again.
1 HP.
Yes, of course. Of course, I would let you re-roll it. That's absurd.
Thank you.
All right. So does anybody else have anything they want to plug really quick before we call it a night and go raid a friendo?
No, I don't think so.
A plug like anything that's happening. Let me see. Next week is okay. I mean, okay, nothing to plug this week, but just wanted to at the end of the episode shout out to the 1 or 2 Phoenix changeling theorists. Congratulations, you did it.
You did it.
You
You were
pulled-
right.
you pulled through.
1D1 million.
You pulled through.
Silent beaches.
And don't worry, there is still much more.
Fantastic. All right, so we're gonna go raid my good friend Eros. He is
I
currently.
fucking love Arrows.
He's playing what? Elden Ring.
Elden
oh
Ring.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, Elden Ring marathon. They're doing a 12-hour stream right
Cool
now.
guys to fall asleep and get grace with. All right. We're gonna go chill. I'm gonna probably go grab a drink downstairs and then go to bed. But
Yeah,
until
I'm kind of
next
thinking the
Friday,
same.
Everybody say good night, everybody.
Jen.
Good night,
night,
everybody.
everybody.
Jen, 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 Jen.